We're here with at CPAC Mexico with the president of Mis amigos migrantes, pues aquí estoy. Total catastrophe, and it is a crisis. Of a child, right there. All these NGOs, you're fake. It is this, the crisis of children. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. How's everybody doing? Good evening to all. It is January 24th. The time is 8:53 in the evening. It is a Friday, and I am here just finishing working today with my mentor, Chuck Colton. Today, the great and the master, of the war correspondent, the best war correspondent in the world for me. It is Mr. Chuck Colton, that he works for CBN, and also he works for Newsmax, and he came down here to Tijuana today. We did, as soon as he came down, immediately we went, I told him, you know what, Chuck, let's go directly to the port of entry of El Chapara, where they are deporting, and the CBP Juan app got canceled. As soon as we got there, there was a few of the people that they were being deported and being returned back under the Trump administration. We recorded that. Then we saw a lot of military activity for people that they are not, understanding what is happening. Donald Trump deployed almost 10,000 effective. He said the number is 10,000, but he already sent 1,500 effective to the south border of the United States, to the north border of Mexico. We have the report, and we have video of them, of the effective National Guard officials, that they are being sent into practically the California territory. And also, one of the things that it was stopped, and they were trying to sell all the billions of dollars of equipment. The border wall, they have continued to rebuild it. We just posted that on X. All of that we did just on one day. So it was quite a interesting day, walking with the great Chuck Colton, with my mentor, seeing, talking to him, and particularly doing journalism work together. It's always an adventure, and it's always fun to see him, and it's always a pleasure to see him, because he's my brother. Although that eating tacos together, it is just something that is greatly amazing. So thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voices. We are trying to travel in the next incoming day. So your help, it is much needed, people. Buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat for people that want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. It is pinned right there in the chat. Your help, it is greatly appreciated at this moment, at this juncture, so we can go to these places that this is happening and bring you the news firsthand on the Mexican side, and not on the American side, on the Mexican side, of how this is developing from this side. So this is our report. This is our report from the new border wall that is being constructed. I will put it on screen. 3, 2, 1, cut one. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. The rebuilding of the wall, just as Trump just came as president, this part right here was one of the biggest parts where they were smuggling a lot of people. They were smuggling all types of individuals illegally into the United States, and now they are rebuilding the wall. Even you have the Mexican National Guard right here guarding the American workers, as we are working together. Mexico guarding the American workers so they will not be ambushed or attacked. You actually can see the American workers working on the wall. We're going to show you that video as the rebuilding of the wall. As soon as Trump just came into office, they're rebuilding it again.
I'm not trying to get too close, because they're welding right now.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Real America's Voice News.
Oh, okay. We're the American news. Okay.
Ah, este es un oficial, ya lo he visto.
See that? This is the place where the wall was short.
So there you have it. The wall, it is being built again. The wall that is being built again. I did a report on this, and I said the hypocrisy of the Biden administration, because there were all these progressive liberals that they had a chant "No borders, no wall, no USA at all." They were protesting back in the years of 2016 and 2020 in the first Trump term. They were going at it. They were just preaching to the wall and yelling at the wall and painting the wall with all these hatred. Even Rashida Tlaib came down here to this particular area, and I confronted her and said, "What the hell are you doing over here? Are you concerned about the trafficking of children?" She was like, shh, don't even talk to me. All of these people, nobody to be seen when Joe Biden and Gavin Newsom were still building the wall. So the narrative of just the wall was full of hate, the wall is full of division, it was full a complete lie. Now, lastly, they were trying to sell the equipment, which, everybody has seen, but you can see it a little bit right here on the video. I will pause it as soon as you see the equipment. All this equipment was going to be sold to whoever wanted to buy it for a really cheap price. You see these metal plates right here on the back. This is the old wall equipment. They were trying to sell it. Now it's being rebuilt. How many days it has been since Trump has been in office, man? 4 days. Look at all the things that he has done in 4 days. CBP1 app has been canceled. Mass deportations, mass raids over criminals. More than 100 criminals have been arrested already. Some of them are in the Interpol list. You got to be kidding me, man. I was watching a guy from Haiti. You guys have seen that video. The guy is from Haiti, and it was a viral video on Fox News. He was detained. He was stopped, and he was yelling, "F Trump. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Barack Obama. I'm not going back to Haiti." He had 7 convictions. You had to be kidding me. 7 convictions. And the guy was relentless. And this is actually a reality. It's happening. A lot of the people never thought that promises made, promises kept. And this is a reality. JFK files are being, JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King files are being, disclosed for people to just read them and understand what the hell happened. That is incredible. The hostages are being delivered in Israel to Gaza, which it can be better, but it's a start. The war in Ukraine with Russia can be actually stopped. They're getting out of this World Economic Forum, this Davos, all these evil people. They're controlling the border. They're securing the border. They're sending National Guard troops to send a deep message to the cartel to say, like, enough is enough. It is not happening anymore, buddy. It's done. And it looks like the United States is back in form. Now, let's see what Mexico does. I live in Mexico. I was, born and raised Mexican. Let's see what our country does, man, because Donald Trump told the Mexican president, okay, you're telling me that we have a distribution problem. We have a big distribution problem of fentanyl. All right, I'll fix that. You're saying that we have a big distribution problem of cocaine. I'll fix that. You're saying that we have a problem at the border. Okay, I'll send my National Guard. When America, or basically the United States of America, is back on wheels, and you see the little choo-choo train rolling and rolling and rolling, and then the president of the United States is going to look into Mexico and say, "Hey, I'm fixing it. So what are you doing about it?" That is when I want to see what is the reaction of the Mexican president. Now, that is clip 1. This is clip 2. This is what it says has been actually happening. I haven't posted this video, so this is going to be just premiered right here on this live feed. I'm going to post it immediately on X as soon as we finish. This is the reality of the mass deportations that are happening continuously every day on the part of Tijuana, Mexico. This is actually happening with the mass deportations in Tijuana, Mexico. Listen to clip 2. Real America's Voices behind me, you will see a first van that is actually carrying deportees, which they are being deported under the Trump administration. You can see right here behind me, there's around 10 of them that they just got deported from the port of entry of San Isidro through El Chaparral in Tijuana, Baja California. From here, they're going to take them to a shelter so they can stay there and see what they are going to do. Apparently, the Mexican president said that they are going to start receiving every national, every Mexican that is deported, they're going to receive a bonus of 2,000 pesos. That is roughly around $100 to $120. This is actually happening. And on my left, you will see migrants that they just arrived to see if their appointment it is going to be basically effective, and they just told them that the CBP1 app it is shut down. This is a reality. Mass deportations are happening. CBP1 down. CBP1 app it is closed. It is canceled, and the National Guard of the United States is being sent to secure the borders of the United States of America. So this is actually what happened today. It is happening every day. Mass deportations is happening. You see around 10 people right here, but it's happening continuously. You know, they're deporting. There were around like 100,000 already scheduled deportees. So these are people of that tail, like around 100,000 that they're deporting. So they're deporting continuously, and they're actually being transported and moved to a shelter, which we are going to try to go next week. So, this is, hold on a second right here. Wait a second right here. So this is the actual reality. This is the actual reality of what we are looking at right now. The actual reality of what we are looking at right now, it is that there's mass deportations. It is a reality that is happening. There is actually not only they're working on the wall, that they're reconstructing the wall, they're rebuilding the wall, as you can see right here. This was a clip from us on the wall. The Mexican National Guard, you know, let me just say something, you know, because they have been hardly criticized all the time. The Mexican National Guard, it is guarding the American workers for them to work and do their job, which it is quite unbelievable. You know, to just, if you see the next, let me just pause right here. You see a Mexican National Guard right here guarding, you know, these workers on the back, these construction workers, these people that they are actually building the wall. And now, not only that, you have that, but also you have that the reality is that they're now deporting, as you see right here, this group of around 10 people. I have been reporting this the whole week. Have been on this the whole week. I've been doing guards right here at this port of entry for like 10 to 12 hours every day, documenting how many they are deporting every single day and where are they taking them every single day. And it is, you know, it is important to let everybody know that they are moving them into a particular shelter. This particular shelter was provided by the municipal city of Tijuana under the Mexican taxpayer. I was in a space, an X space yesterday in Spanish. They invited me to speak, and it's all Mexican nationals, right? And all of these people, they're asking me questions about, are we paying for this? Are we paying for this? Are we paying for this? And this is kind of like Christian, right-wing, libertarian, conservative audience. No leftists, just those particular audience. And I just had to be blunt and told them, yes, we are paying for it. We are actually paying for it because our government that is left, that is a progressive left, wants this. They want the globalist agenda. They want this continuous globalization of borders. dismantling sovereign nations, the globalization of the Agenda 2030. They want this. It is not that they do not want it. They want it. So there's asking a question right here. Oscar Blue, then Mexico declining USA plan with illegals is fake. Let me just confirm that, but they cannot land a military airplane into a airbase or into a an airplane base or an airport without the particular permissions and without further notice. Just for everybody to know. And if it is a military plane, it is it's something that is extremely sensitive. It is a topic that is extremely delicate. So we need to know and understand why they denied it. It's not that they're, oh my God, they're denying, they're not accepting that. Let's send them out. No, stop with the speculations and the hysteria of of creating something that is not the actual objective news. What is the reality is that possibly it got denied because they didn't have the notice. It is a military plane. If it was a military plane, and it got denied. They have never denied planes coming in with deportees to Mexico. It has never. If it is a private plane company, per se, they have never denied it in the past. So let's find out what happened before we start, getting ahead of ourselves and saying, "Oh, this is that, this is that." No, let's get it. Let's find out what happened. Benny Johnson the other day posted something that it was, and I like Benny Johnson, but he posted something that it was fake news. He posted that a lot of Mexicans, they're going back home because of the mass deportations, and it was just fake news. It was just totally irresponsible on his side. And I was, and he's a great guy, but he messed up. That line that he posted on his post, it was just people going back to the other side of the border to Mexico. And it's just people that they cross back and forth. A lot of them, they're American citizens that they are going to, let's say, Mexico because they pay cheaper rent over there, but they cross the border every time. So you got thousands coming in every day that they're U.S. citizens and they have a resident card that they go to work to the United States, and thousands that they're coming out. So, that was not legitimate news. That was fake news. A lot of these, there was just vehicles coming out and going to Mexico. So let us go back to the topic. So this is actually happening. This is a reality. This is a reality. It is actually happening. Deportations are happening. They're going to continue to happen. Now, I have been interviewed multiple times by multiple networks, and not only in English, but mostly now I'm getting a lot of invitations of networks from Colombia, from South America, from Europe. Also, I did an interview with an Italian radio station the other day, and they did it in English and a little bit of Spanish. And the question is, are they really doing this? If it is actually happening, and it is a reality, people. It is actually happening. It is actually happening. It is a reality. There is mass deportations. Now, we go to the place and we go to the area for people to understand that is a reality of the news. The other day I did a hit with Grant Stinchfield, and I hope that I can download that video. Let me see if I can download that video, and I can just skip it over here, because Grant put me I did a hit with him, right? And there was this CNN reporter, and on the video and on the cut, you won't see the opinion of the CNN reporter, which he put first on the video. But the CNN reporter, what he did was what she did. Oh, yeah, I can download. Okay. What she did, the CNN reporter, was that she started saying that the border was really controlled, that the massive flow would slow down, and that everything looked pretty much beautiful, like Sesame Street. And this, you know, Grant Sitchville was putting this video at the same time, that just minutes ago, an American citizen, I don't know what the hell he was doing, hiking on Jacumba. That is a really dangerous spot. Well, you know, it's their land. They can hike whatever the hell they want. But he was hiking over there and he got brutally shot by two cartel members. Immediately, the chief commissioner of Border Patrol, Kay Bobino, informed on his page, a legitimate CBP, that this American citizen was attacked by cartel. And they sent a helicopter rescued to this particular place. I did that hit and I said that, you know, a lot of the mainstream media are going to try to manipulate this, man. They're going to try to manipulate and manipulate and manipulate. And they're going to try to do that because it's happening. It's actually happening. They're going to, the leftist media, they don't want to go away. They know that they're getting their butt kicked and they know that they're getting beat up. And they do not want to go away. They're working really closely with these NGOs. These NGOs that they're putting all these class action lawsuits, and they're going to try to sue the government because of violation of human rights and la this, la that. Now, I was doing a hit with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon told me something that I was extremely concerned. He said, Oscar, President Trump hasn't stopped collaborating with the Global Compact on Migration. That it is concerning. Why? Because it's the number one thing that it needs to happen. He needs to get out of the Global Compact, so he will cut all these international rights for these NGOs, for them to have the authority still to go and put these class action lawsuits, and for the government to start investigating all these NGOs, audit all of these NGOs, and prosecutes the ones that they were in cahoots with the cartel. They need to do that immediately. If they do not do it, they're going to have a problem. So apparently, I think that Trump is waiting to speak on the pedestal of the United Nations. You know, I remember his speech back in 2016, I think 2016, 2017. Let me drink a little bit of coffee. And it was the best speech ever. The one that he did on the United Nations, that was the speech that woke me up. I was like, whoa, man. What the hell? He just shut everybody else. Every globalist. He just said on their face, no, this is not happening. So now a lot of the people have been seeing, is the military of the United States being deployed to several border cities? And this is the reality. Clip 3, please. This is the National Guard. More than 500 active National Guard soldiers. They were just deployed to the part of San Diego, California, in Imperial Beach, California, which is just crossing, you know, right here, really close from Tijuana, just crossing right here. This is a reality. It is actually happening. Clip 3. For people to understand, and they are actually trying to speculate if it is a reality or not. Yes, today, more than 500 active, I think that they're National Guard or active soldiers. I'm calling them active soldiers. More than 500 of them, they were brought to the part of Imperial Beach, California, and they are going to be deployed around the border of California. Why? As you guys have seen, there are several people that they have documented on the California side of Jacumba. And, on the American side, you can stay there and watch and record and see the activity, how the cartel it is dropping off on the other side that is Jamul. In Jamul, in the part of Tecate, we went there, Ben Berquam and myself, and I went there. Oh my God, 2617, I think I went there, man. I went there multiple times in 2017. But at that particular time in 2017, the cartel was not that active. It was not even active. It was just units dropping people off, right? Now it is a no-go zone. So for you to enter to that other side, that is the border with Jacumba, California, next to now Jamul in Tecate, we entered that place, Ben Berquam and myself, escorted by a unit of National Guard officials from Mexico, around 8 of them, all of them wearing equipment and long artillery guns. And not only that, 2 units from the Border Patrol of Mexico. All of them, we entered to this particular place. It had to be quick and it had to be fast. So this is an area that is extremely difficult. It is extremely, extremely dangerous. And you can actually see on the other side in Jamul all these nice little houses. It's a random area in the middle of nowhere. And you have these big houses, 4 floors, 3 floors, beautifully done. The architecture and everything is so beautiful. You're like, come on, who's building a house over here? You know who. So it is cartel run. That particular place, it is extremely insecure on the Mexican side. On the Mexican side. I don't even know how to say it in English, man. I'm sorry. Sorry about my English. Long artillery guns is the translation in Spanish. I'm sorry. Just tell me how to say it in English and I'll correct myself. I will say it as English is my second language, brother. So I apologize for that. So, this is the reality. It is happening. It is actually happening. It is not a lie. It is the reality. It is happening. The wall is getting rebuilt. Deportations and the CBP1 app, it is canceled. Deportations are happening. CBP1 app has been canceled. And the military has been deployed to the border. Now, this happened. I'm going to put a clip. This was just one day before. One day before this interview that I did with Grant Stinchfield. It is 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Let me just drop it right here in my right here on the screen. Let me see if it okay, we got it right here. It's receiving. Now, I want you to understand. I have been saying you need to send the National Guard immediately now. And 37E68. Let me just get the clip. Just
I would like to address the CNN report.
So this is the interview. Where is somebody's asking, where's Chuck Colton? He is resting. We have a long day tomorrow. A long day tomorrow. So that question was asked 70 quadrillion times. He's resting right now. I just dropped him off at his hotel. So this is an interview that I did yesterday. Yesterday, I did this interview, and I'm addressing a CNN reporter. This CNN reporter, what she said, was that the border was controlled, was that nothing was happening, that everything was just secure. And you're trying to exacerbate the situation to make Trump look like he's creating hysteria at the border so he can send the military. Now they're on that narrative. These people are so damaged that they don't want to militarize the border because they are against it, right? So what they're trying to do is say, like, no, because of Biden, it slowed down, and now that Trump came in, yeah, it had a little bit of effect. It has slowed down. So I don't know why we're sending the military. That's their whole game. That's their whole, their whole point. It's totally disgusting. Completely disgusting. But look at this. I did this interview with Grant. And when I did this interview, this just recently happened. And what I address is to the CNN reporter and to what just actually happened on this particular point in Jacumba. Listen to this.
I would like to address the CNN reporter. Stop. We are sick and tired of your lies. This was just posted by the United States Border Patrol Chief. Breaking news, Patrol Agent Gregory K. Bovino, an American hiker, was just attacked and gunfire by the cartel in the part of Jacumba, California. Jacumba, California has been one of the places that has been smuggled and bum rushed by so many migrants, by China, by the cartel smuggling Afghans, and by people that they were potentially on the terrorist watch list. For you, the reporter that is saying this fake news on CNN, stop. The American people are sick and tired of hearing your lies. This is a reality right now, was posted by Chief of Patrol K. Bobino, that just an American citizen was attacked by the cartel hiking in the part of Jacumba, California. Grant.
All right. What about the numbers on the border? Do we still see the illegal crossings like we did before? Obviously, the Biden administration was trying to move all the illegals through the CBP One app. That was the scam of the numbers. But are we still seeing people rush the border?
The cartel is still operating, Grant. They're not slowing down. As I've said many times before, there needs to be a consequence, and there needs to be a great message sent to the other side and also to the Mexican president. They need to slow down the pace. That threat of a tariff, Grant, it needs to happen whether they like it or not. They have still crossed illegally through some particular protection, some particular non-ports of entry where there is no wall. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it, and they're trying to enter, whether, there is authority, whether there is border patrol, non-border patrol. The National Guard needs to be sent immediately to the United States border to send a message to the cartel that this is not going to continue.
You know what I say right there? This was yesterday. Of course, I have nothing to do with it, right? I have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. It's I say multiple times, the cartel, that the United States of America needs to send the National Guard to the United States borders immediately. And today, people, you get this. You get that armed soldiers or soldiers from the United States are being sent to the United States borders. So a lot of us, we have been doing this for so many years, going against all laws. It is a reality, the insecurity that we're living in Mexico due to the cartel and, due to the enormous cartel activity that we have been basically living through. It is a difficult situation in Mexico. Completely difficult. Under AMLO, for all you leftist, progressive, mercenary, activist liberals, that some of them are here, I would like to address you. And I always say this. You cannot have a conversation with a normal person like me if you bring this language, your language barrier of defense. That is, you're creating hysteria, you're fear-mongering, you're a conspiracy theorist, you are xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronoun-phobic, fat-phobic, white supremacist, white imperialist, racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot, Zionist, from the river to the sea, la, 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 will be free, and you're gaslighting. Stop. It's not happening anymore. You're done. Everybody in the world, not even the American people, Mexican people, Central America people, South America, Europe, they are so sick and tired of your BS. We are so sick and tired of your inclusion. So sick and tired of your LGBTQ, XYWX, triple KZ. So sick and tired of your Black Lives Matter destruction. So sick and tired of your Antifa and being like, yes, let them protest, let them manifest, let them heal their feelings. We're so sick and tired of your BS. It's not happening. We are sick and tired of it. And even people in Mexico, I'm Mexican, we're sick and we're looking at that and we're like, what the hell is going on? We are so sick and tired of your BS. To all you Hispanic liberals, always preaching, there's no one is illegal on stolen land. So if you're preaching that, why don't you come to Mexico and yell over here? Well, California is Mexico. No, it's not. It's the United States. You're living on the past. So if you want to live yelling all the time, no one is illegal on stolen land. I live over here in Mexico. Why don't you come over here and yell over here? Because our people are suffering with the cartel, with the insecurity, with a bad economy. I don't see you living over here, but I see you yelling. I see you yelling in a capitalist country, right? I see you yelling out of the capitalist dollar with your capitalist phone, with your capitalist laptop, in your capitalist job, with your capitalist car, that, by the way, you have an 8-cylinder. You're not saving the planet. You're not saving from contamination. Oh my God, I'm driving an electrical car, Dorothy. I'm saving so much contamination. Carbon monoxide is so bad for us. Oh my God, carbon monoxide. Microphone disconnected. I apologize for that. Put the volume up a little bit. So reality. Three things happened today. Well, three. Sorry, three. Give it a like to the video, share the video, like the video, share the video, and the link for you to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, the coffee link, it is up in the chat. Thank you so much. Three things. One of them. Let's go right here. One of them. The water, the border wall. Blah, blah, blah. The border wall, it is being rebuilt again. Reconstructed. Back on operation. 4 days of this man being in government. And I'm just seeing action, man. I'm a foreigner. I'm just calling it like it is. I'm just seeing like, man, this guy's on fire. This guy doesn't give a rat's ass, man. This guy is really getting the job done. Like he told his people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And I don't care what everybody says. I'm just going to do it. And promises made, promises kept. The guy said, we're going to build again the wall. We're going to secure the border. We're going to cut the illegal entrances. We're going to shut down the CBP1 app. There's going to be mass deportations. And where everybody's like, come on. All the liberals are like, yeah, he's just It's just preaching to the choir. It's just creating hysteria. Well, there's no hysteria here. You're actually seeing deportees continuously 10 to 15, 10 to 15 every day being returned back, taken to a shelter. This is the port of entry of El Chaparral in Tijuana, California. There has been active deportees coming out every single day, 10 to 15, 10 to 15, 10 to 15 to fit on this unit. And the flow is going to pile up. I don't know how Mexico is going to do it. I really do not know how Mexico is going to do it, because they just rented a warehouse where supposedly there's going to have a capacity for more than 5,000. They haven't categorized this as a crisis, but we already know that it's a crisis. And every leftist government is going to say it's not a crisis. It is a challenge. It is a challenge that we are going to face with this Trump administration, and we are going to win because every right, it is a human right. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. People are dying. The cartel that is smuggling them, they're abusing them. You're using it just for money. We're not making this up. It's a reality. Then you go to here. Actually, deportees, and people are saying, oh, he's saying that he's going to send the military to the border. I don't believe him. Well, believe it or not, there it is. He sent 500 active soldiers right now to the south border in Imperial Beach and the military base. So Imperial Beach, it's beautiful, beautiful place over there. I love that neighborhood. Right there, you see they're fixing their tents. Why they got tents? Because they're not messing around. Donald Trump just designated these cartels as terrorists, and we're just waiting for this to be processed to see if the Mexican government is going to designate them. Is really difficult. Why? Because it is a full-on corruption. And they're not going to try to do that, right? Everybody's being paid off. Everybody's making a lot of money. There's a lot of corruption. So nobody thinks that is going to happen. No, nobody thinks that is going to happen. Nobody. Is it a reality that the cartels are going to be designated as terrorists? It is a reality. What is the Mexican government going to do? Now, I was asked this question on the War Room with Steve Bannon. I was asked this question, and I want to say thank you so much to. I will go on today and thank you so much to R. Pelliser. Thank you so much for the coffees, Connie. Thank you so much. Mindy, thank you so much. D, thank you so much. Anonymous, thank you so much. Truckee, thank you so much. Nifra Queen, thank you so much. Mindy Patriot Angel, thank you so much. Bill Richards, my God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much, Bill. God bless you. And Anonymous Robles, thank you so much. Put your name in there, man. So we can give you a huge shout out. Buy me a coffee is right there. This is actually happening. Military of the United States arriving. Is it a reality? Yes, it is. Are we playing around? The United States is not playing around. Are they playing around? No. What is the whole deal to send them over there? Send a message to the cartel that this is not happening anymore. You're done. You are done. And this is actually killing the liberals. It's like, oh my God. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I do not think so. No. On the Mexican side, yes, I will believe that it's optics. And they have done it so many times. On the U.S. side, it has never been like this. This is the first time that I have seen it like this. Soldiers being deployed to secure the border like this as an urgent matter after 4 days of a president being in power. I don't think that it has never been done. And let's just be honest, it's the first time that it has been done. At this fast pace, brother. I'm just saying. It's a reality. A lot of people are, saying what is this going to have an effect on the cartel? Well, it is. I don't like to be open about it because I live over here and it's such a difficult situation to talk about that. But the only thing that I can say about it is that it is going to piss them off because you're hitting them in the pockets. That's where you don't want to hit them. If you are afraid of them, right? But that is not going to hit. That is going to hit. It's going to completely mess them up. Get them really upset. Now, let me just be honest about this. You know, what are they going to do if the enormous trafficking of individuals has stopped or slowed down because they have secured the border? Because of that, and because they are basically now securing the border, they're going to rely more now on the trafficking of synthetic drugs, fentanyl, cocaine. This is why I have said multiple times, and I'm getting in trouble for saying it too much. But the threat of a tariff needs to happen, whether they like it or not. It needs to be right there, like knock, knock. You're not doing anything. I'm right here. I'm right here outside of your door watching you, and I'm seeing that you're not doing squat. So if you're not going to do squat, just let me know, because I have a little thing that is called tariff. And if you continue to not do squat, well, I'm designating these guys as terrorists. I don't know why you're not accepting the fact that they're terrorists. They're destroying your country. They're destroying the Mexican people, and the Mexican country will be a first-class world country if it wasn't for the cartel. There will be no reason for Mexicans to go somewhere else to live in the world if we eliminated the cartel. There will be no reasons for us to move. Mexico is a beautiful country, and everybody that has visited Cancun, Cozumel, Oaxaca, San Miguel Allende, San Cristobal de las Casas, Chiapas, Yucatán, Nayarit, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan. It's a beautiful country, man. Beautiful country. If we didn't have those organizations having control of our government, whew, San Carlos, Mexico, my God, beautiful San Carlos. I've been there back in 2004. Whew, I was really young. I was like 22, 23 years old. Man, we had a wild life. Wild night. Beautiful. It's important that it's completely, it's a complete change, and it is actually happening. It is actually happening. They're showing you with facts. They're showing you with facts. It is not a lie. The military has arrived to the south border of the United States. It is a reality. They have their tents. They're going to camp out. I don't know how long they're going to be there. I don't know if they're going to be there the whole Trump administration. I don't know if they're going to be there for 70 million years. I don't know, but they just got sent. So it is a huge message to the cartel on the other side. The cartel on the other side is like, whoa, oopsie. Now, who's next? Come on, man. Ms. Mary. Ms. Mary, how you doing? I'm sorry, Ms. Mary. Oscar, is the tents for your military or the elite? The tents that the military has, Ms. Mary, are for the military, Ms. Mary. How you doing, Ms. Mary? God bless your dear heart. What a wonderful picture of you and your husband. God rest his soul. It's a beautiful man. Um, so you know who's next. Now let's talk about who's next. Before we go 50 minutes. I will just say who's next, and then I will answer some questions and some comments. But who's next? And we need to understand who's next. And the organization who is next, we need to go to the head of the snake. And they need to go after the United Nations. Stop funding the UN. That's it. United States of America, it is the number one that gives money to the United Nations, OIM, and the UNHCR. I will invite Michael Young, possibly this week, war correspondent Michael Young, to be on a live feed with me. He's in Panama. I have been there in the City of Knowledge in Panama, where is the main headquarters of OIM, United Nations, and the UNHCR. And ultimately, when they need to cut the head, that's the enemy. That's the number one that is destroying borders, destroying countries, and just basically creating a crisis with vulnerable lives as migrants. A lot of migrants are dying. Hundreds of thousands. They are dying and putting their lives at risk because of this continuous strategy to live out of a humanitarian crisis. Stop the funding to the United Nations. Go to that pedestal, Mr. President. Go to that pedestal and talk to these globalists and let them know what time it is. Milei, the president of Argentina, just told them the other day about the feminazis and about this movement of feminazis. My God, that speech was so wonderful. Holy cow. It's like, man, thank God we got these men. Bukele, also another one that just basically eradicated and eliminated their progressive liberal agenda in their speech. We got one more. And that one more, it is a one in the U.S. Oh, and the representative of Poland also just destroyed the United Nations. Destroy the United Nations on their pedestal. I will accept questions. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much. Ban Hornick says, do you support Mexico adopting like the USA to Second Amendment so Mexico could become armed population? What are your thoughts? We have a Second Amendment, but it's so difficult to carry a gun. The cartel has more possibilities of carrying a gun than a non-citizen. And the bad thing about it is that the president of Mexico, a socialist capitalist, like Alexandria Ocasio says, has already started with a campaign that says, bring peace, more peace, no guns. So what they're saying with that campaign is that you go and deliver your gun, you go and bring your gun, and then they will give you a bonus. Or they will give you a stove, or they will give you a toaster, or something like that. And that is actually happening. Unbelievable. We're going with the same question. We don't know what happened. It is not that Mexico is not accepting flights. It is denying flights. We're going at it with Mexico, and we should take it. Stop with that. Stop. We don't know what happened. We don't know what actually happened. If it was a military plane, it needs the specific permits to fly and to land. Something happened, and let's just find out. Let's investigate, and tomorrow we will figure it out, and we will say this is what actually happened. And I will inform on my X page, and I will upload a video also right here at YouTube for everybody to understand. Let me just see more comments, more questions. Comments, questions? Oscar Blue talking to Shatters someplace, but not here. Anybody who, my God, if you don't like it, get out. Is that simple. Okay, we got a comment right here. The plane thing was a miscommunication between the tower and the plane. Said Mexico is ready to accept immigrants. I'm telling you, we're getting ahead of ourselves, and we do not know what actually happened. Oscar, my coffee, please. Buy me a coffee, please. It's on top. It's pinned on the chat. Just go and pin in the chat, and if it doesn't let you in, go in and get out. And thank you so much for. Thank you. God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much. Questions, people? Go ahead. What's going on in the Darien Gap? Is China on the UN still building infrastructure, bridges, or and whatnot? The flow. It has slowed down in a 96%, I believe so. Slow completely down. If I go right now, if I tell Ben, let's go. Let's get in my canteen. Right here. This is my canteen, man. That I take to the Darien. Let's take our canteen. Let's get our backpacks, man. Let's get our hammocks. Let's get it going. I will tell you that it will be much scarier right now because nobody's there. And we have walked that jungle with thousands of people. It will be amazing to see how that jungle looks from the inside, all empty. Some undisclosed person told me that they had the other day on one particular migrant camp, which we on our third journey out of the 4 that we did, on the third try, we went to this migrant camp called Lajas Blancas, and it was packed with more than 7,000 people waiting to get out. This was in 2023. And ultimately, now we have heard information that they only had 15 the other day. 15 migrants. Slow down. And it's hitting in the pockets of the cartel in Colombia. It is hitting them like the business is done. You know, we went to Nicocli, that is the port of exit, where these boats and these tourist packages that the cartel, all of them, they're traffickers. They were selling to the migrants for them to get to these specific places so they can enter. And, you know, now all of these people that were making a lot of money out of the migrants with their local businesses, selling stoves, selling boots, selling all, they're broke. They're done. Business is done. Like they need to do something else. They need to do something else. Somebody saying, I tap on the link, it is not opening. Let me just get the link again, and let me just send it to everybody. I'm sorry for that. Let's get the link again. Let me just go right here on the link. Copy the link, and let's just go right here and pin it again. I will pin it again, and hold on right here. Got 627 people on YouTube. Wow, man. Wow, that's unbelievable. Say hello to everybody on YouTube. Replace pin message. Replace. There you go. I pin it again. And on my live, you know, it shows that I got 1,801 people. 1,801. So it has slowed down. It has slowed down. There's a comment right here. Hi, Oscar. Gulf of America. It's not legitimate yet. You know, the only one that has posted that I think it is the governor of Florida, that is DeSantis. There was a post earlier about rejected flight arrival. We have been talking about it. It was apparently miscommunication. It was miscommunication, apparently. President Trump changed the name of Gulf of Mexico. It hasn't been legitimately changed. The only ones that they have changed it it is President Trump himself. But it's in Mexico, we still call it Gulf of Mexico, and Central America calls it Gulf of Mexico. And it has to go through, I don't know what process to change it. I don't want to get into it. If you're for it, you're against it, you're a traitor to your own people. I really do not care about what it changes the Gulf of Mexico or not. The only thing that I care is about our country being great and having a great relationship with the best country in the world, that is the United States of America. If it changes, if the name changes, the name changes. The only one that it can provide this information to see what is going to happen, it is God. It's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He doesn't see color. He doesn't see stature. He doesn't see rich, poor. He sees good. And that is about it. And I'm a follower of Jesus, and that's about it. I don't like to get into particulars that, oh my God, you're a traitor to your own people. You're betraying your own people. You're betraying your own people and you live in the States. Like, get out of here, man. Get out of here with that. Like, stop, really stop. You're embarrassing yourself. So it's just a matter of understanding. If it is going to be changed, it's going to be changed. That's it. Let's move on. Is it for the better of countries in every part of the world? I really do not. If it is better for us, if it is better for everybody, let's make it happen, man. Well, yeah. Yes, I agree with it. ¿Qué opinas del cierre de departamentos? No lo quiero. No, ya me has hecho esa pregunta como 5 veces y la verdad no estoy muy bien informado en la situación. Okay. What do you think it will happen to Canada's Prime Minister, President Trudeau? They have a big possibility to have a conservative change, and it's going to happen. Canada is going to go conservative, is going to go right, is going to go Christian. And, the thing about it, I was talking this with Chuck Holton. And I will say this in the most transparent way. Listen to what I'm about to say. And, Chuck is an intelligent man. I always look for him for advice and for knowledge. And today he gave me a class, man. When I was sitting down eating tacos with him, I was just listening to him. I love listening to this man. It's just an amazing man. But we were talking in the car. We have a lot of these discussions. And as I was talking to him, I said, Chuck, the American people are going to go back to procreating again. And he just looked at me and was like, what are you talking about? If the economy gets better, this is why in Europe, the Muslims, Islam, was reproducing by the 3s and 4s. In the West, our economies are so bad that the parents, they don't want to have a family because it's unaffordable. It's unaffordable to basically buy a house. It's unaffordable to pay a car. It's unaffordable to have a child. And it is so unaffordable that Christians or conservatives or libertarians or whatever you want to call it, they're like, oh, man, a child, the level of education, how progressive liberal it is, how disastrous the education now is. They're teaching them Marxism. They're teaching them all these disgusting stuff to the kids. Oh, man, it's so disastrous. And now that the economy is going to drill back to where it was, America, it's going to have a domino effect on the whole continent. And people, and the American people, are going to go back to the values of family, God, and country. And Americans are going to start reproducing again. And the country is going to go back to where it was. This is so strategically done because mass migration happens for a reason. When you start collapsing the economy, collapsing cities, creating sanctuary cities, you start acknowledging that it was strategically done for you to receive mass migration because the country is not reproducing and you're going to not grow. So you need mass migration. This is what it started happening. That's why the economy was collapsing under Biden. It's part of a strategy. It's Agenda 2030. We need to understand. Americans need to understand Agenda 2030. It was not on your door knocking. It was in your house, eating your lunch, going to your fridge and stealing your cheese. It was already happening. And now that the economy is going to go back, Americans are going to try to say, you know what, economy is good. You know what, Kelly or Joanna or Marcella, or whatever you want to call it, I think it's time to, you know, create a family. And it is going to go back to Christians growing families by the 2s and the 3s and the 4s. We talked about this, and it is a full-on attack to Christians. It is not a lie. This is happening worldwide. Look how disgusting the Pope has become. I'm sorry for Catholics. I was a Catholic. I'm a Jesus follower, soon to be Christian, Jesus follower. But I was a Catholic. I still believe in my Virgin Maria de Guadalupe. But it is so bad. Look at the bishop the other day with Donald Trump on, Donald Trump on the church. You have to be kidding me. Trans kids, pray for trans kids. Like, get out of here. You're blasphemy. You're blasphemous. That's evil. That's the devil. That is the kind of situation that we need to move it out. Like, no, you had enough. You had enough fun. We're done. So I think that life is going to go back to, I'm not saying that she was Catholic. I'm just saying the Pope, Catholic. So now that we have that America or the United States, now that El Salvador with Bukele, people are reproducing. People are staying in their homes. People are not migrating massively from El Salvador. Not migrating. So they're basically regrowing, regrouping, and they're reproducing in their homes. What a great president Bukele is. For me, is the great president in the world. Then in Milei, getting the economy back in Argentina. And Argentinians, they do not migrate as much. We have a lot of Argentinians in Mexico. A lot of Argentinian restaurants. By the way, the meat, the way they cook the empanadas is just beautiful. And the wine and all this kind of stuff, it's just, absolutely great. But Argentinians are also staying home. What happens with these leaders? They create a safe pathway for their own people to stay home. Prosperous job, normal job, that it can get you home. It can get the family fed. You can pay the rent. You can pay your house. You can pay your car. You can get a little bit of money saved up right there for, a once a year vacation with the family. And why not? You know what, Dorothy? Let's get a kid. And then you start growing as a normal population. What the progressive liberals, and I just got off topic, but with the progressive liberals, the Bidens, the Castros, dictator Maduro, dictator in Nicaragua, disastrous governments like AMLO, Trudeau, all of these people are trying to disintegrate what is the family unit. Trying to bring all this trans lives and all this matters and, women, men playing on men's sports and women and going into bathrooms and all this disaster. Children, just completely changing their sex when they're 5, 6 years of age. By the time that they're 12, they don't even know what they're feeling. They're like, what the hell did I just did? Transhumanism, all this disaster. You're destroying the family unit. That was their main goal. Pro-abortion, destruction. The actual most human genocide in the world is the abortion. Nobody talks about it. Oh, but these pro-libtards, they talk about, oh my God, the genocide in Palestine. Why did you talk about the genocide in Ukraine? So much defend Ukraine, and they're committing it's a genocide over there by thousands of Ukrainians dying, thousands of Russians dying. So reality, when you bring a right government, you will have family integration again. Fathers need to go be fathers again. Mothers need to go be mothers again. And kids, boys need to be boys and girls just be girls. Go out, get dirty, fall, let him fall. Let him play football. Let him play soccer with his boys. Girls, go out there, want to play football, go ahead, but play with the girls. Don't get hurt. That's it. Normal life as it was. You're so old-fashioned, Oscar Blue. You're so... That's back in the 1930s. I'm like, holy cow! I don't know. That worked. I don't know if I don't know if I'm old-fashioned, but that old-fashioned system, it was working really good. It was not creating a crisis at the border. We didn't have no riots. Nobody was looting massively. There was no actual destruction and insecurity in cities. There was no this progressive inclusion, disastrous censorship. That old-fashioned system, it worked. Just saying, what is a woman? Well, I can tell you, if you describe it to me physically, I will tell you what is a woman. She can have babies. She has this chromosome, and that's it. It's so simple. But you go to these libtards. What is a woman? Oh my God. You know, what would you say to conservatives? They need to open their eyes more. They need to understand us, and they need to be more sensitive, and they need to educate themselves. The Christians and the conservatives need to be stopped with the extremism and the creating so much hysteria and the xenophobia. Oh my God, it's so out there. I am so overweight, but I like being overweight because I think that is good. And the fat phobia, oh my God, it's so, oh my God. And the Zionism, oh, we need to free Palestine. We need to free Palestine immediately. So I wanted to ask you, what is a woman? What an extremist question. And they're like, what the hell is going on? I just ask you a simple question. Why can you not answer, what is a woman? What is wrong with that question? It is so oppressive. It is so like gotcha kind of question. No, it's not a gotcha kind of question. It is so simple. What is a woman? W-O-M-A-N? Yeah, woman. That old-fashioned system, people, it used to work. And it worked pretty good, I'm going to tell you. It worked pretty darn good. Now you get all these progressive liberal Pete Buttigieg, Alexandria Ocasio, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, all these people, they're hiding right now. They don't even know. The only one that has been completely, out there, and I got to give her respect because, if you're still following your craziness and you're still on your craziness and you still think that you're not crazy, but you're still going out there with your craziness, is Alexandria Ocasio. She's going out there and fully exposing herself on all social media, and she's like, oh yeah, this is imperialism, and we're actually experiencing how they're going to control the system, guys. And they're like, oh my God, again, this lady, she doesn't shut up. I will give her that. She's incompetent. She doesn't, sweet cheeks, she doesn't shut up, but she's out there. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Oh my God, Ms. Mary, I had your comment right there the whole time. I'm sorry about that, Ms. Mary. And I'm talking about all this stuff. I apologize, Ms. Mary Golden. Thank you so much for joining in. An hour and 15 minutes. I think I extended myself a little bit. I will read a few comments. before I go, I will go to an hour and 30. An hour and 30 minutes, and that's it. I'm going to cut it right there. So I will read a few comments or I will read a few questions before I go. Thank you for everybody that has been on the coffee link. Let me just go right here. Anonymous bought me a coffee, 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. That's what you said. And I just want to say thank you. God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much. Let me just go again to the app and see what's going on. My God. Let me just, I don't want to. Yes, Anonymous. Thank you so much. Let me just refresh right here. Anonymous, by the way, by the name of Lynn. Thank you so much. And also Salty C. Thank you so much, Salty. Thank you so much. Let me read a comment right here. Ben Berquam. I know that guy. Got a picture of him right here. Caught AOC the other day for a couple of seconds on Rab. She was actually pretty funny for a second. You know, well, she's losing. So she doesn't have no other option. She's losing. She just, and I don't, I'm just, I just got to say something before, the Republican Party and the conservatives and the Christians in the United States need to be prepared for 2028. These people are monstrous, man. You just messed up with your 2030 agenda. They're extremely upset. Extremely upset. They're pissed off. You just messed up with their 2030 agenda. Believe me. Believe me. These people are preparing. They are going to prepare. And it is not going to be easy, man. It is not going to be easy. There's a question right here. Why doesn't both countries work together, Mexico and the U.S.? Eduardo Verástegui, I know him. Got a picture with him right here also. He said something. We have to pardon ourselves first. Americans and Mexicans, we have to just shake our hands and say, you know what? I'm sorry also. That's about it. Let's call it a night. First and foremost. And second of all, we need to get Jesus in the middle of it, man. One of the things that I will tell you that President Bukele said on an interview, Tucker Carlson asked him this. How do you fix this problem of the MS gang? Your country was so taken over by them. And he said, I had 2 problems. One of them I knew how to solve it, and the other one I knew that I was going to win. And so he said, why the second one was a problem? And he said, let me explain to you first. The first one that I was really concerned was that I was going to deploy all police officers, and I don't want nobody to get hurt and nobody to die. And the second problem was a problem that I knew that I was going to win. So it was not a problem. I said, what was the second one? We needed God. And that was easy. We just brought God back to the country, and the country's back on wheels. What does Mexico need to do? We have so many leaders that they want to do the right thing. But sadly, on their way up, they get corruptibly interrupted. And their life is threatened. We need help. There's no other way. And it's a reality. As a Mexican, I'm telling you, we haven't fixed this problem. And it's our pride, the Mexican pride. It goes back to our ancient times of the Aztecs, that we're warriors and we're fighters. And we got conquered and we fought to the last moment. Those long gone, man. We understand that we have a pride, un orgullo mexicano, la pasión. Nuestro ávaro patrio, un águila devorando una serpiente arriba del nopal. Our symbol, our Mexican symbol, the eagle with the snake on their mouth and on top of a nopal. But we need help. There's no other way. Our root is so corrupt and is so dirty. On every executive power, it is so corrupt. On every institution branch, it is so corrupt. We are brought into a world of corruption. Let me tell you how, I have said this multiple times, even a child before he is born, on its way to his hospital, he's born corrupt. You want me to tell you how? So you go to this, our health system is so corrupt and it's so bad. Our institutions for attending pregnant people in urgency, we have it's a collapsing system over here in Mexico. And they have made us believe that it is getting better, and it's not. So let me tell you how we can be born into corruption. So you go into this hospital and you bring your pregnant lady, right? And you go to the doctor, say like, hey man, she's about to give birth. I don't know. There's the waiting line. It's over there. 15 people. The father's like, my God, I need to get her in. And she's just, her water broke. Like, I need to get her in. The line is over there. Who do I need to talk to? Immediately goes like, what are you talking about? Who do I need to talk to, if you know what I mean? Oh, let me bring somebody out. And man, let's go back and talk for a little bit on the other room. Then you come back out. Go ahead, come in. The child was born through a corruption scheme. It happens all the time. And it's so embarrassing to say it. It is so sad to say it when you run a stoplight and the officer comes and like, hey, ¿qué huele, güero? ¿Cómo está? How are you doing? Officer, how you doing? Doing good. Ran a stoplight. Yeah, I know. I'm in a hurry. Going to work. Yeah, so I've been hungry the whole morning, man. I know. I'm gonna put you the little table where I put the ticket. Let's put a little, 200 pesos right there. Just to have breakfast. Yeah, I'm sorry, officer. Good deal. I have said this. I have this saying. My grandpa used to tell me this. Mexico has a problem, and there's a word right here that they just put on the live chat that is called corruption, and it is. I'm going through that, and I will ask this to the audience. El corrupto hace la corrupción o la corrupción al corrupto. The corrupt does the corruption, or the corruption does the corrupt. How do you feel about that question? The corrupt does the corruption, or the corruption converts the corrupt? Listen to the question. Listen to the question. And I would listen to my grandpa, because he said, this is the problem that we have. The cartel, the corruption. El corrupto hace la corrupción o la corrupción al corrupto, hijo. So the corrupt does the corruption, or the corruption goes with the corrupt. And I said, the corruption does the corrupt. He said, no. There's the problem. The problem is that the word corruption shouldn't be existing. You're thinking about how the corrupt can be corrupted, or how the corruption can be, you're already doing it. Your mechanism in your head, it is already implemented. You're already educated to understand what corruption is, and to be corrupted, or the corrupt can be corrupted, or the corruption can be the corrupted. You're already implemented in your head. So this is what it needs to happen. We need help. We need to clean from the bottom, from the seed. We're so corrupted from the seed, and we do it accidentally. We don't do it because we want to do it. We do it accidentally. We have normalized this conduct. And the Democrats, they were doing that exactly with the migration. How they were doing it? This is why I haven't said it so many times when I was in Steve Bannon, when I was with the network, when I was with other networks. I said the normalization of illicit and illegal conduct to our people. They know, the Democrats, they know that we have adopted ourselves to this. So they implemented this system to make them understand it is okay to migrate through a jungle, normalize it, pay the cartel, normalize it. They have done it before. They're going to go through Central America. They have to pay the cartel, normalize that conduct. When they get to Mexico, they need to pay the cartel, normalize that conduct. When they go to Mexico, they need to walk a caravan and watch for coyotes and then pay this, pay that, pay this, pay corrupt officers. Normalize that conduct. When they get to the border with Mexico and the United States, they need to pay a coyote. Normalize that conduct. Take them to a non-port of entry, an open border gap, and pay the cartel. Normalize conduct. Who's going to accept them? And NGOs right there. Oh, I'm here waiting for you. So much time waiting for you. I'm here to hug you and to just grant you and just comfort you. It's a normalization of a conduct that a lot of us have been accustomed to since we were born and since we are a child and since we are growing. It's such a normalized conduct that we do it accidentally. We can just go and just be on the line. We do it accidentally, and it's just so normal. We will be on the line to pay something. And it's just like, hey, man, chinga tú, man, de un chingo de prisa. Oh my God, I'm so late. I'm so late. Let me just, hey, ¿cómo estás? Hey, what's up, man? What's up? You're all the way to the front. Hey, I give you $20. I'll go in the front and you go in the back. I need the 20. All right, go in the back. It's so normal. It's in our system. It's sad, but it was implemented by a corrupt system to make us that way. So that's the word that I'm saying. It is the corrupt does the corruption, or the corruption does the corrupt. The word shouldn't be existent. You're thinking about it. Why you're thinking about it? Because you have done it before. And you're like, the corrupt does the corruption, or the corruption does the corrupt. Like, oh my God, I'm thinking about, because I have done this before and I have seen this. You're already thinking about it. You're already mechanizing. So you already normalize that conduct. That shouldn't be existing. This is why they have tried to destroy the country that exercises the law and order. Which is the only country that does that? Which is the country that put the example to the world that freedom exists, but you have to obey law and order in the Constitution on top of everything? Which is the only country that does that? Which is the only country that has said since the start, you violate the law, you pay the crime. You make the crime, you pay the crime. Which is the only country that has done that? The United States of America. And if they know that if they take that country down, everything falls into a domino. We got it. We got it. This is why Agenda 2030 was so important by these leftists. To destroy the United States of America, it was such a golden prize. Now, this man came into office. He's doing all of these things like what I'm about to put again on the screen right here. He's sending the National Guard to protect the south border, and everybody's flipping off. All these leftist progressive liberals, they're just going nuts, and they're just going crazy. They're like, oh no, what is it doing? Militarizing the border. Oh my God, we wanted everybody to come. They're violating their rights. And sorry, there's a law. I'm a pro-migrant myself. I believe migration is a human right, and a lot of people don't like when I'm saying that, but it's a human right for you to migrate. But there's a law, and there's a process. You have the right to migrate, but when you get to the country, you need to ask, how do you get in there? You know, nobody's interfering with your human right to migrate. You're migrating, but you're just arrived to the port of entry. You're like, okay, I have a right to migrate to that country. I know that is a right, but also I need to obey the law for me to migrate and to have that right. So if I say if it's a human right, that means that there's no laws. That means that there's no process. That means that everybody can go in without obeying the law. That means that the word law shouldn't exist. Isn't that anarchy? How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News for our network. It is a pleasure to be with you guys tonight. It is 10:22 at night. I'm about to say goodnight and say goodbye to everybody. I need to wake up tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the morning. And to wake up early in the morning because we have a long day with Mr. Chuck Holton. I have a long day with him, man, tomorrow. I have a long day with him. But I enjoy every single minute of it. I really do. I enjoy every single minute with him, man. It's just knowledge after knowledge. And it doesn't end. You just keep on talking with him and keep on talking and keep on talking, and it doesn't end. You know, we walk faster, Oscar Blue. Walk faster. I know. That guy walks fast, man. You know. But it is what it is. I have been with them in the most difficult situations in the world, and I love being with them. I feel that my circle has gotten so small that he is one of my my mentors. One of my favorite people. I love being around. We've been in Ukraine, Poland, Amsterdam, France, Belgium, Jerusalem, Israel, the whole Lebanon, Jordan. It's South America. It's just every time that I see him, I'm like, hey, it's like I just seen you and we were in Petra walking, man. And it's just amazing. Amazing. God bless every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Boy News. Signing off. I put your comment right there for 70 million times. Cristobal. I'm sorry. Brazil. What about Brazil before we go? Somebody's asking about Brazil. Brazil. What about Brazil? ¿Qué pasó con Brasil? For you and Linda Brown, for you, Oscar and Chuck, may your travels be blessed and safe. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Have you been to Brazil? No, I have not. And I'm trying to go to the border of Pacaraima, Brazil, but it's really expensive to get down there, man. I'm trying to get some equipment going on right there. We're struggling a little bit on that, but Pacaraima, Brazil, it is the border that we're trying to go. Pacaraima has been the border that is overwhelmed right now by migration of every part of the world. And that is because Lula opened his mouth that he's going to give everybody work permits. So you have this border that is completely overrun right now in Pacaraima, Brazil. That is a border with Venezuela. And now the Venezuelans are not going north, they're going south. And it's just a lot of the cities are having exactly the same problems that the United States is having. The problem with Brazil, it is that you have complete censorship. They're going full on socialist, man. Lula is transforming that country into a disaster. For that country to go back to it the way it was, Bolsonaro needs to run again. And he needs to clean the house with his son being vice president. His son is an incredible young man. Or his son needs to run. Whoever, both of those two, man. And it's just completely destroying. Lula's destroying Brazil. Censorship, it is horrible. There are just complete corruption. The journalists are getting threatened. It is so insecure. The gangs are completely running the borders. And it's just sad. It's just sad. So, it's going to be difficult for them to to change it, but they're still on time. It's not like that they don't have time. They have a lot of time. Brazil has a lot of time. Has a lot of time to change, man. They have a gigantic opportunity, a gigantic window to change. It's just it's really bad. It's really bad. Without the Mexican cartels, Mexico will be exactly like Brazil right now. Without the Mexican cartels, no, you're incorrect. You're incorrect. I'm sorry. No, without the Mexican cartels, Mexico will be a first-class world country. Leave it alone. Really. Ben and I, we were driving at a countryside, beautiful countryside, and we were just thinking about that. Like, man, this is a beautiful countryside. We were driving on the borders. I think it was Chihuahua, and you know, and it's so amazing that as a Mexican, I can tell you that those beautiful places we can easily go and excavate and hiking and climbing and all this kind of stuff. And we can do it because we feel so insecure that somebody's going to rob us or somebody's going to steal from us or somebody's going to do something to our families or you're not going to come out. It's just simple as that. So, Sally, it is what it is. God bless you all. Stay safe. Thank you so much for joining in. I will say good night. Good night, good night, good night. God bless you. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission. Take care.